Okay, so once you have drawn whatever image you chose to draw, and remember we're zooming in, then you're going to check that work with the teacher. And if you're ready, we'll tell you to go ahead and start your oil pastel. So you can see I did a pair standing and a pair laying down. So I'm going to start with 3 colors that are similar in family. So I'm going to start with this red orange, this darker yellow, and light yellow. So I'm going to start off with imagining the light is coming from this side. So I'm going to start off by putting this orange on this side. Now, when you first do your first layer, it's kind of light and it will look kind of like a crayon. I'm not going to put too much on because you can't take it off, but you can always add more if necessary. So if this is going to be the dark side of the image, so the side opposite the light as well as the bottom of the object, and I'm going to put that light layer almost all over, and then I'm going to go with my medium value and start mixing that together. Again, I'm not doing a super heavy layer yet. I am going to be waiting to do that as I build colors. So you can see here, this is where it is starting to blend together. And as I work, I might go back and forth between those 3 colors that I chose to put on this pair. And begin mixing those. And again, go back with that medium. And the spaces that are happening in between are the areas that will pick up the color that you're putting down and allow you to blend. So if it still looks like a crayon, then you probably need to add some more blending to that. I'm going to add in a little bit of green to go with this, so it looks like a green pear in there. So I'm kind of putting this in my lighter to medium space. And now you can see it is starting to blend those colors. So typically you want to go with the rule of 3s. So choosing maybe 3 colors to go on one object, whether it's a flower or a bird or your leaf or a design, and picking things that kind of go together. So for example, these 3 family colors could go together, or I might choose some blues. So you want like a dark, a medium, and a light, and that's what you work on as you do these. So I'm actually going to go back into this with a blue, which is the opposite color of this orangish color, to darken that shadow. So you can see I'm not going to put this all over. I'm not putting it heavy at all, but just enough to get a little layer. And then I want to go back over it with that orange and sort of blend those together. And I can kind of do little circles to sort of get that blended together. And if I want to add more along that edge. So now you can see I'm kind of starting to get almost enough oil pastel that I won't be able to add much more because it's so heavy in those spaces. So just keep in mind that, again, you cannot take it off, but you can always add more if you need to. So if, again, like I said the last time, if you do oil pastel correctly, it will look more like a painting versus a drawing material. This is medium yellow. So as I go to this one, I'm going to treat this one the same way, using the same few colors. And then what you want to think about is your background space. You should have very little of it, but you kind of want contrasting colors. So I'm not going to want to use this same yellowish green back here because it'll look too much the same. And then when I come to this table section, I'm going to want to choose a contrasting color to these as well. So you can see that I've added a layer of these blues and even a little bit of a blue purple. I'm doing the darker one near the bottom of the wall and then getting a little lighter, and then I have this medium one that I'm adding in. What I like to do is go around these edges too and just make a nice clean line so that that edge is going to be nice and defined when I'm finished. Going real careful around the stem here, and then I'm going to work on adding in some of these other colors, especially like a lighter blue on this side, and then blending. So right now it kind of looks like a crayon still because I haven't done a whole lot of blending yet, but here you can see it's starting to blend. And then I'm going to keep working and I'll come back and show you. Okay, and here is the finished piece. So I finished off with some shadows on the table, as well as a bunch of white with a little bit of yellow over here. So through this entire thing, there's oil pastel even on the very light parts. So as you finish, it should look like a complete painting, but we're using oil pastels.